on not only performance but strength and endurance in all of these athletes.
Absolutely. Coach Gumble has really installed a new um, mentality in all the athletes,
Definitely.
teaching them how to be bigger, faster, and stronger and all this stuff. And it's really great what he's done here for the school. And so now as the announcer here at the game is going over the starting lineups, we're waiting here for the national anthem here soon. The green zone with the Kilt crew is looking alive tonight. All of them have their yellow pom-poms getting ready for this game.
Yes,
and
they
even
do.
even the Silver Creek crowd looks alive tonight. Everybody showed up and showed out tonight.
Yes, sirree.
So yeah, that's as we were saying, varsity head coach for the Silver Creek Volleyball is Jeff Zimmerman, and we are now getting the national anthem kicked off. Alrighty, let's get this kicked off.
Let's do it. All right, team's going to shake hands, ready to get it kicked off.
Oh yeah, and as we were saying, the head coach for Silver Creek tonight is Jeff Zimmerman, and Floyd Central is going to be Bart Powell. Like we said, expecting great games from both sides. Both teams are very evenly matched, size and age. Floyd Central has lost a lot of seniors. That's the only issue I really see with them this season. They have a big-time age gap. They're very young. This team is
very true. Actually, I was looking at this lineup and I see four freshmen. How do you think that's a big number for a varsity team?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'd say so. I agree.
Absolutely. And just like let's see here, there's two sophomores and one freshman. Excuse me, 2 sophomores and 2 freshmen that will be starting varsity tonight.
Wow,
So
that's impressive.
Very young squad.
All right, here we go. I think it's kicking off.
Get this kicked off. So as the volleyball rules, you need 25 points to win a set, and you need 3 sets to win a match. And in the final set, if it goes to 5 sets, will be 15 points.
That is correct. Number 2, Lizzie Kane, starting with the serve for Floyd Central.
Ooh, good block there. Ball spiked over and out of bounds. Point for Silver Creek, 1-0.
Natalie Lostetter with that spike. She is actually a freshman, a sophomore. She's been lighting it up in warm-ups. Silver Creek now with the serve.
Will not get over the net. Hung just short of the net. And now as the Highlanders back to serve, match is all tied up at 1-1. Excuse me, the set is all tied up at 1-1. Served over the net. Bump, set, and spike. Ooh. Diving save there, but could not quite get it as Caroline Hilbrick.
18 had an excellent dive, but just could not come up with it. Great effort.
Very close. Carolyn almost had that. So now Silver Creek leads 2-1. Serve is up, across the net. Bump, set, and spike. Good save there by the Dragons. Bump, set, and spike again. Spikes across, off the net,
Excellent
saved again.
block. Natalie Lostetter again.
The teams are doing very well here off the spike. And Silver Creek hangs it just a wee bit low there as Bella Hinton hangs it, like I said, just a wee bit low there, and we are all tied up at 2 now. Highlanders now back with the serve.
So far, I'd say it's pretty even. I was expecting this. Hopefully it's going to continue to be like this through the whole night and be a barn burner.
Cassidy Hoback now back to serve it. Served across the net. Very short, almost an ace.
Wow,
It's
giving
across
the
net,
Dragons lots of trouble with that.
Bump, set, and spike, and great, amazing play here by the Highlanders.
Abby Marks with that spike. Oh my goodness. That had a lot of force behind it.
Nothing that the Dragons could do with that one.
3-2, Highlanders up in our first set.
Cassidy Hoback still serving. Across the net. Pumped up. Bump, set, and spike. It will be a point.
Point on the Dragons, net infraction.
Infraction.
So
those
net,
will really get you.
Yeah, net infractions are when a volleyball player goes under the net. There's pretty much an invisible barrier on between the net and the floor, and you cannot cross that or else it will result in a point on the opposing team. Number 7 on the Dragons with the serve.
Pump, set, and here's the spike. There's a great spike by the Highlanders here. Number 2, Courtney Combs with the great spike. What a play. Now the Highlanders getting ready.
Number 3 lacing up, ready to go.
Oh, excuse me, I messed that up. Number 2, Lizzie Kane with the last spike. Ball head crossed. Highlanders cannot retrieve that one as the score will be now all tied up at 4.
It's looking pretty equal on offensive power. Each team is spiking hard, and actually they're having equal defense as well. They're getting good chips on the ball on the block.
Absolutely. Now with the serve. Served across. Hilbert with the hit. Bump, set, and spike. And there's a great spike by Kira Sharp. What a play by the Highlanders. Now substituting in Keegan Kaiser is coming in. Keegan Kaiser now back to serve it. And it will be out of
Just
the back.
a little bit too much.
Now the Dragons back to serve it. Abby Marks serves the ball.
Excellent pass by number 15 on the Highlanders. Blocked by the Dragons. Wow, incredible agility.
Great play.
Oh my goodness.
And we're having great defense here from the Dragons.
Nice hard hits. Putting pressure on the Dragons.
Set and spike, and it will be a Dragons point. What a play here as the Dragons take the lead 6-5.
Number 11, Katie Hawkins with that. She knew that the Highlanders were coming in hot, so she barely tapped it and put it perfectly in between the two in the back.
What a play.
5 and 6, Dragons up.
Oh,
Too high.
very hard spike, but a wee bit too hard.
Just
We have a
got
net
under.
infraction, though, and it's going to give the Highlanders the points anyways.
All right.
Kill Crew is extremely fired up about that one. Now the Highlanders back to serve. 6-6 all is your score. Barely under, going across the net, and it is out.
Riley Wilkins barely just didn't put enough on it. Oh, excuse me. Wrong team.
Oh, and a little bit of a slight bump there by Anna Hilbert. Should have hit it harder, but barely tapped it.
Some confusion, yes, by Hilbrick, and another Highlander.
Dragons now serve it. Hit by Keaton Kaiser, and it is going to go rolling out of bounds.
Wyatt, in this situation, you've just, let's say you're the Highlanders and you've just lost 3 points. Would you take a timeout right now?
No, I say you let it go a little longer. Timeouts are so valuable. I don't think you use it just yet until you absolutely feel like, this is starting to become a runaway.
I agree. What about now?
Ace here by the Dragons. I say one more point.
One more point, that'll do it for you?
And that's when I would call my timeout.
Having trouble in the back of the court from the Highlanders. Can't seem to get a pass up. Having
The back
trouble.
row is really struggling tonight.
See if they can handle this serve. They can.
Highlanders really getting out of their groove, and now seems like they're kind of coming back into it. Bump set and serve, and just a tap and a great play here by the Dragons, going up 6-11. Yeah, here's definitely my point where I call that timeout. The Highlanders definitely looking frustrated, and Bart Powell is not happy about it.
That was a very heads-up play by Anna Dablo. She saw that the blockers were very close to the net, and she just barely tapped it behind him, and it worked. Diving play, not enough.
And the Highlanders, it's really seeming to get out of their grips here for this set, and they will call their timeout now.
Wow.
You gotta call something here.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. You can't let them run with this now, like you said.
Yeah. You let this get too far away in the set's gonna be gone.
Agreed.
It's good you get a hold of it now. 6 points is not that bad to make up. It's not ideal, but it's definitely not the worst of situations.
Very true. It's not like you're stuck in the pit now. You still got momentum.
They started off the game very well. Let's see if they can get back into that groove. Hopefully they can, because things seem to be working there in the first couple of sets. They were all neck and neck there.
I agree, definitely. They were both very evenly matched. I don't know what was happening in the back. I'd say our serve reception was getting a little dry, a little slow, and then we kept shanking the ball, I should say. So let's see. All right, timeout is over. Back to play.
Now the Dragons back to serve. It's 12-6, the Dragons lead. Serve is up and across the net. Anna Hilbert taps it, bump set and spike, and it is going to be a tap, not a spike, as the Dragons corral it barely and get it across on their last hit. Another great pushover by the Highlanders, and Anna Dabble with another great spike. She seems to have a big-time spiking arm here.
Our defense is rising.
There we go, and the Highlanders are going to score here.
I'd say that was a valuable timeout. Now the momentum's in their hands, and they can use that to their
A
advantage.
little bit of a flip here.
If you saw that, their defense was way better. Their passing from the spikes from the Dragons greatly improved.
Here go the Highlanders now with the bump set, and here comes the spike. Across the net, corralled by the Dragons. Anna Dablo with a hit, and barely under where the net goes. And the Highlanders, like I said, they're coming back into this. 6 points is not that hard to come back from. Now it's looking a whole lot better at 4 points. 12-8 is now your score. You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. Ball is hit across the net by the Highlanders. Now a spike from Anna Dablo, and she is going to score here.
Anna Dablo messed it up the first time, but she came back and proved herself. She put it in the exact perfect spot where there was not a single Highlander to defend that ball.
Great play by her. Now the Dragons back to serve. Garrison now over the net.
Low setter with the pass.
Oh, it's a great block by the Dragons, and it is going to fall to the ground.
An
And
incredible
things seem to be
job.
getting out of hand again. 8-14 is your score. Back to that 6-point deficit here for the Highlanders.
That was an amazing block. That ball had a ton of force, and the block just sent it right back where it came from.
Over the net now. Highlanders send it back over. Bump set, and here's the spike. Ooh. And the Dragons are going to score again. It is 8-15. The Highlanders just look out of it tonight, man. They are all frustrated now, and it's not good.
Number 2, Macy Garrison with that spike is now going to serve.
Ball's up, got a bump. Set and a tap. And they will not be able to save it as the Highlanders now corral this back a little bit, make this a 6-point deficit.
Wasn't an ideal bump set spike, but you know what? It did the job. 3 Dragons went to get it, and Highlanders came out on top on that play. 9-15 is your score. Dragons still up.
Ball's hit across. Bump set. Here's your spike. Oh, and it's just a tap, no spike. There's the spike and across, and too hard as the Highlanders send that out of bounds. Now the Dragons back to serve. Ball's across the net. Bump set, and here's a little punch there. Bump set and spike. The Dragons score again, 9-17, and this seems to be getting way out of hand here for the Highlanders.
Highlanders are having trouble. I've noticed so far on these spikes, these Highlanders look just out of position. All of them are falling forward, and they're not able to reposition themselves after they get the pass up.
Wetzel hits the ball across. Bump set, here's the tap. Dragons barely get a hold of it.
Ball's back over Highlander side.
Oh, the fake set right across the net. Great play.
Heads up play by Lizzie Kane. Instead of setting it for a spike, she just set it over the net and put it perfectly where there was no
Saw the slight little hole there and just placed it perfectly.
Yes, she did. She utilized it.
That was great. Ball hit across. It is up. Great defense by the Highlanders, but it collapses there.
You know what? On that play, there was a block, and we haven't seen many blocks. It wasn't a perfect block. It got it, but it did its job. It slowed the ball down so that it doesn't put as much pressure on the passer.
And the ball will be out as Silver Creek will get another point, and they will go up 19-10. This set seems to be getting away from the Highlanders. Do you think they're going to be able to corral this, Rafe?
I don't know. I think, in my opinion, they're making silly mistakes. Like, we're making... Excuse me. The play's going.
And out of bounds again.
Like I was saying,
Highlanders will get the point, though, here.
Highlanders are seeming to not be able to... It was clicking at first in the beginning of the set, but their offense is off. They're barely missing the inbounds. They're just barely missing it. If they can tweak that, then maybe they can start getting a little bit of momentum. But, I mean, 11-19, that's a hefty score to come back from.
It's definitely not going to be easy. Hilbert now serves the ball over the net. Bump set, and here's the spike.
Excellent
Great block there. And it's going to be saved by the Highlanders. They got to get it across the net here, though.
Excellent block, allowing the passer to get it up.
Another spike. They're just going to push it. No spike here. Courtney Combs with the straight over the net, and it is in the back left corner. Great play by Courtney Combs there.
I don't think I've ever seen a play where a hitter gets a set from behind her and spikes it without even receiving a set, just from the pass. That was amazing.
Hilbert now serving it.
Ooh, put some heat on that one.
Straight up, got a bump set and a spike.
Great
save, though. Caden Holcomb with that strong arm hits it straight back over.
Another good block by the Highlanders.
And that'll do fall straight down.
Number 12, Kyra Sharp with that kill.
It's a great play there by the Highlanders. 6-point game, 19-13.
Wyatt, I noticed they sucked them all to the right side of the court as a timeout is called. The Highlanders sucked them all to the right side of that court, and then the next time they received the ball, they brought it right back to the left, and that's where the court was open, and they put it right down where it needed to go.
Yeah, they did. It was definitely a great play there by the Highlanders.
13-19. Yes. So that's a lot better than 11-19. So do you still think there's a shot for the Highlanders in this set?
Now 32 seconds left here in the timeout.
Do you think there's still a shot for the Highlanders in this set?
Absolutely. Now the clock is winding down here on the timeout. 13-19, as Rafe said, is your score. You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. I am Wyatt Williams. Alongside me,
Rafe Swearingen.
Yes, sir.
All right, timeout's over. Still in the first set, 19-13. Silver Creek Dragons are up. Highlanders have the ball. Number 5, Anna Hilberg, is serving, and it is over.
And a terrible pass there. It looks like it may be
Oh,
saved. It
wow.
is not saved.
Not an ideal pass in general from number 15, but I gotta say that Dragon slid and got that ball and almost had a chance to bring it right back over.
Hilberg with the serve. Great defense here by the Highlanders, dropping that back over. Caden Holcomb saving this again. And it is sent out just barely over the back as the Dragons will get the point here. 14-20. Dragons back to serve. Ball is hit across. Straight up in the air.
Wow.
Over and straight to the ground as the Highlanders will get another point, bringing this back into 15-20.
Kyrie Sharp with that kill.
Highlanders need 10 to win this set, and the Dragons need 5. It's going to be tough here, but it's definitely doable.
But you know what? If the Highlanders race back up and somehow scratch out 3 points, actually, 4 points, the Silver Creek Dragons have to win by 2, so there is still a shot. All is not lost.
Yes.
Highlanders with the serve. Way over.
Way over.
Dang.
Way too much power with that one, and that's going to give the Dragons 21. And Adablo, that strong arm, checking back in on the left side.
15-21 now. Silver Creek Dragons still up. Starting to get a little close as the set winds down.
Serve is up. Hit by Hilberg. Now Combs and across.
Blocked by the Dragons. Dragons send it back over.
Combs and hit it back up. Next. It is going to fall to the ground as the Highlanders will now only be down by 5 points.
Number 2 and 17 on the Dragons went to block that, but the Highlander, she hit it on the inside part of their hands, making that ball slip off their hands and not sending it back over net, but just riding the net out and landing on the opposite side. Oh!
And a big time mess up here as we have an ace.
That is an ace. That's definitely what the Highlanders need right now. They just need momentum. Keep it rolling.
Ace is definitely a lot of momentum here for him. Big time start for him.
They need to capitalize on this.
This is huge. Caden Holcomb hits it across.
Tough
Ball is way
pass.
too deep.
Oh my.
Too far back. And they're somehow going to corral it back over and get it back. As the Highlanders are going to score, bringing this to within 3 points now.
Highlanders are doing an excellent job using all this momentum. First it was an ace, now it's a messed up pass. Highlanders are, it's a game now. Now it's neck and neck from the beginning. Remember from the beginning, then there was a big separation by the Dragons because the Highlanders defense was down. But now the Highlanders are right back in it.
Bump, set, and serve. It is up, and the Dragons defense is able to corral it. Anadabo with the spike is going to be blocked. The ball is still in play. Highlanders can't celebrate just yet, but now they can. As the ball hits the net and falls to the ground, we have a 2-point game here in this first set. And we have a timeout for the Dragons.
Wow.
Dragons now using their second timeout. The Highlanders have only used one, and this is huge.
What a shift of momentum, yes.
Absolutely. How many timeouts do they get per half, or per set?
I believe 2, but I could be wrong.
I think it is 2.
The green zone getting pumped up.
Oh, they're definitely loving this. Highlanders were in a hole just a few short minutes ago, down, 9 points at one point, and now here we are. We got a 2-point game.
Yes.
I don't want to jinx anything, but it's looking pretty good.
I'd say so.
At least looking a lot better than 11-19.
What do you think allowed the Highlanders to gain this momentum back?
Oh, I think the ace was a huge part of it a couple seconds ago.
I agree.
And then just banding together as a team and playing better together. You can just tell ever since they had that slump a little bit ago, they weren't really playing together as a team, getting frustrated with the little things. And now you can just tell they're really playing as a team, not so much frustration, letting loose and just playing some volleyball.
Definitely. Oh,
and
my
a
goodness.
great play by the Highlanders, and it is now a 1-point game.
Dragons are cracking under pressure. They're getting mental.
20-21 now.
The Dragons libero is having some trouble.
Ball served, and it is going to fall, and it is going to be a 2-point lead now for the Dragons as they score.
But still, since the Dragons do have the ball, but I'd say the Highlanders have the energy right now. And if the Highlanders can get back and get a kill on this play, I think they're going to take this set. Great pass.
They've absolutely got the momentum for it.
Well blocked by the Dragons.
Dablo with that serve.
Excellent heads-up play.
And we got a...
I believe that was another net infraction.
Yep, net infraction.
I'd say if I was Coach Powell, reflecting on this first set, I'd say to improve is to minimize the easy mistakes. Net infractions, barely hitting it outside of the line, not big serves that are way over.
We take that back. It looks like they're going to give that one to the Highlanders. Or maybe they're going to call the play dead. I don't know what just happened there, but they stopped play. The refs discussed for a second, and now
I think we got a replay. Score 20-22.
Yep, they're just going to give them a replay. They're going to restart the set.
Dragons still up.
Or the rally, I mean. Ball hit across now. Bump set, and here's the spike, and it is not a spike. It's going to be a tap, and the Highlanders are going to get the point here. 22-21 is their score now.
27, Kylie Minnis utilized that amazingly. It wasn't a good set, I'll say that right now, but she placed it perfectly where the defenders weren't at.
And she is a senior, so a lot of experience probably fed into that one, having 4 years of knowing what to do now.
Very athletic play.
Bump set, here's a spike by Dablo, and this on spike is a tap. Saved by the Highlander defense, great play there. And it's going to be a fake set and over the net, and here we go. Spike, straight to the ground, and the Highlanders have now tied this one up. The whole gym is going crazy.
Now it's neck and neck, 22-22. Highlanders brought down the rain for the kill.
And the Dragons have absolutely nothing to say about it as the Highlanders just steamrolled back.
Excellent blocks.
Hit over, and it's going to be a Highlander point. The Highlanders will take the lead for the first time since they were up 6-5. It is now 23-22 Highlanders.
Number 19, Hillbrick, absolutely pulverized that ball. The Silver Creek Dragons just couldn't handle the power on that one.
Absolutely great play by her. They have a serve across the net now. Ball is hit up.
Very good serve.
Bump, here's the set, and the spike by Dablo. It's going to be way over, and 24-22, the Highlanders take the lead. 1 point here to win this set.
Set point. Very big mental errors by the Dragons. Just easy plays that are getting in the favor of the Highlanders.
Ball's across. Now hit up.
See if the Highlanders can finish this
Spike
set.
by Dablo. It's not a spike, it's a tap. Highlanders defense corrals it, though. It's going to be a spike, not
well
good, though, and it is saved. And there'll be a point for the Dragons.
I believe
the Dragons need one more point to get themselves back into this.
The referee called a lift on that, and a lift is where you take the ball and almost you place your hand under the ball instead of just hitting it.
It's kind of like catching it.
You catch it and push it over. 24-23.
Here we go.
Oh,
and the Highlanders will win the set on an incredible comeback.
Pressure. I think the pressure got to that server.
A great play.
That was an amazing set. What are the takeaways from that set, Wyatt?
Highlanders, don't give up.
That's it. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Never give up. Use your timeout at the right spot.
Oh, yes, definitely,
I would place that too. Bart did a great job. Coach Bart did a great job of knowing when to call the timeout and what to say to his team. I guess I don't know what he said in the huddle there, but it worked. It rallied them back from 9 points down to winning that set.
And what I also noticed, Silver Creek was up by a ton, and as soon as the Highlanders came back and got more points on them, oh, let me backtrack. Highlanders were down 9 points. Coach Powell only used one timeout. Highlanders came back, and the Dragons were down, I'd say, at most 2 or 3 points at a time, and they ended up using 2 timeouts. So I think it's the mentality. Their mental game is kind of deteriorating.
Absolutely. Seemed like they kind of, I wouldn't say gave up, but they just like lost faith in the set and
cracked under pressure.
Yep, absolutely. The great play by Highlanders as we will now switch sides of the court. Both teams talking to each other, getting ready for this next set. Highlanders up now 1-0 in the match. And now, thank you to the following underwriting grants for making this broadcast possible. Jesse Ballo Enterprises, Brian Jackson, State Farm Agent, Oliver Agency Insurance, Lamb's Heating and Air Conditioning, Chris Bryant Masonry, Dave Heminger, Julie Gamble Group, and B&B Law Office. Thank you for making this broadcast possible.
Big thanks to them for making all this possible. You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. Floyd Central up 1 set
To none.
facing Silver Creek. Getting ready to kick off the second set.
Both teams still talking to their coaches and teammates, getting ready for this. As, like we said, the Highlanders and the Dragons have switched sides now for this next set. Melanie Hussung, and Bart Powell getting ready with the game plan for this next set, as the Dragons have already got back out on the court and they're ready to go. I guess they a little upset at the way the last one ended, and they're eager and ready to get back out there and win this next set.
If you were varsity head coach for the Silver Creek Dragons, Jeff Zimmerman, what would you be saying to your team on that last set and how it ended?
Well, I think you can look at the other team, the Highlanders, here for great influence as to, like we said, never give up. Just keep looking. Even though they're down right now, you can still always come back and just keep in this match. Don't give it up, and yeah, just keep going, keep fighting.
Very true. Highlanders showed a ton of perseverance last set. Let's see if they can get up and take it on the second one.
Now as both teams getting back out there and getting ready.
In football, we call that a delay of game. All right, here we go.
Silver Creek back to serve to start this set off.
0-0 second set. Silver Creek with the ball, like White said.
Ball's going to be tapped.
Wow.
The Highlanders will start this off with a great play. Seems like the momentum did not go anywhere.
Very true. Highlanders kept that momentum and held on to it.
So 1-0 is the score here for the Highlanders.
See if Floyd Central can take it and run with it.
Hopefully they can. 3-2-1 formation here for the Highlanders, starting off with a serve. Ball's across the net. And we are going to have a net violation. A net violation by the Highlanders. It's going to be a point for the Dragons here. Tying it up 1-1.
Wyatt, it's very similar to a net infraction. I don't know the exact term for the call, but what the Highlander did, she interfered with the set of the Silver Creek Dragon.
A foot fault? Stepped over the line on, never mind. That's over on the serve.
She just interfered with the set.
Okay. Interfere with the other team on that. Okay.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Highlanders got that point right back.
Back up 2-1.
I don't know what the call on that was either.
Highlanders up 1 now. That's senior Cassidy Hoback now for the serve. He's going to hit it over. Bump set, and here's the spike, and it's going to be off the net. But great defense by the Highlanders saving that. And a little mental error by the Highlanders as some of them stepped away as they thought they had hit it out of bounds already, and it was still in play. Dragons back now to serve it. 2-2 is your score.
Number 3, Mallory Ramsey with the serve.
Get off. Bump set, and here's your spike. It's going to fall just short, and the Highlanders will get your point here as 3-2 is now going to be the score. You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. I am Wyatt Williams alongside me,
Rafe Swearingen.
Having a great time out here tonight as we are watching the Highlanders and the Dragons take on each other in a volleyball match.
Second set, 3-2, Highlanders up. Highlanders with the serve.
Bump set, and there's the spike, and it is going to go barely over and stays inside. And actually I take it back, it goes outside.
You see the line judge ruled it as a down ball, but the referees overrided it and called it out of bounds. Highlanders took the point on that one.
Hillbrook going to serve it over the net now.
Too much pepper on that one.
Way too much. 4-3 is now your score. The Dragons bringing it back into a 1-point game. Dragons back to serve this now. Ball not hit over the net, and there's going to be a terrible play there. The Highlanders could not corral that one, and it sails out of the back of the court.
Kyra Sharp just couldn't handle that one, and she sends it right into the green zone.
This match is starting very similar to the last one where they were neck and neck.
Agreed.
Up till the Highlanders got, I think, probably 6 points, and then the Dragons just kind of pull away from there until they got to a 9-point lead. Spike over, and the Highlanders going to score here again, 5-4, excuse me. Highlanders still up 1-0 in the match.
Kyra Sharp making up for that last play with the kill.
Highlanders going to score here again, 6-4 is now the score.
Caden Holcomb sealing the deal on that play, making sure the Highlanders take the point.
Highlanders back now to serve. Kira Sharp has now hit the ball over. Bump set, here's the spike, and it's going to be blocked by the Highlander defense. Great play there. Bump set, another spike, and it will not be blocked this time, but the ball was going to go out of bounds, but...
It's a tip.
Huh?
She actually tipped the ball. Number 12, Kyra Sharp, yes.
Oh, yeah.
She dove for the ball. It was a great athletic play, but just barely couldn't get it up. That's a tough play to read.
Yeah, it was. Looked like it was going to go out of bounds there for a second.
I thought it was going out.
But she should have left that one be.
Yes. Yeah. Big time. Tough play.
Ball now hit up, looking for the spike, and Highlander defense gets their hands on it, but cannot stop it as it will fall to the ground on the Highlander side of the net.
I'm having deja vu. Same score as the last set.
Absolutely is. Hilbert now with the set. Here's the spike by Caden Holcomb. It was going to be blocked. It's saved by the Highlanders. Barely over the net. Hit up. Ball is now hit over. Hilbert now with it. Bump set. And here is the spike. And it's going to be blocked again. And it's going to be a point for the Dragons.
The call on that play was 4 hits. In volleyball, you're only allowed to hit the ball 3 times, and you need to send it over the other side of the net. On that play, they hit it 4 times, resulting in a point for the Dragons.
Dragons now back deep to send this one off. Serves up and over the net. Hilbert now with the great pass. Bump set, here's the spike, and it will fall to the ground. As, like you said, a little bit of deja vu. It seems to be taking off kind of like we were.
Yes, sir.
6-8 is now your score as the Silver Creek Dragons are now in the lead.
Number 3, Courtney Combs had a beautiful set on that last play.
Pass, here's the bump set, and here's the spike by Caden Holcomb. It was blocked again. And 9-6 is your score. The Dragons seeming to pull away just a wee bit here.
See if the Highlanders can muster up that same energy that they had last set.
Just got to dig down deep and find it again. They found it last time. Ball set over the net. Great pass. Here's the bump set, and the spike is over by Caden Holcomb. Here's the set, and the spike. It is going to be blocked by the Highlander defense, and the Dragons cannot get a hold of it, as we will now have a 2-point game. 9-7 is the Dragons' lead.
Caden Holcomb matching the defense, the same block as the Silver Creek Dragons did right back to them.
Great play there by the Highlanders.
Haycomb taking the serve.
Over the net. Ball's up in the air. We got a bump. Here's the set and the spike. Ball is hit up again. Back over behind them. Sent over the net. Dragons now with it. Here's the set and here's the spike. It's not a spike though. It's going to be a tap. Hilbert diving to get it. Cannot quite get there as the Dragons go up 10-7. Caden Holcomb coming out as Cassidy Hoback Sr. will be coming in. Big team here for the Highlanders. You look down at their bench. The whole team doesn't even fit on the bench.
That's true. They have 4 players standing outside of the bench, not outside of the gym.
So the Highlanders now with it. It is going to be a serve by the Dragons. And then the Highlanders corralled it, sent it back over for a point. It is now going to be 10-8. The Dragons still lead.
Closer score than last set. Hopefully the Dragons don't run away with it this time, but if it results in another win of a set, I'll take that any day.
Absolutely.
Lollipop serve.
Spiked over. Molly Stopper with the light tap to send it back over the net. And the Dragons will score as they increase their lead to 3 as the score is now 11-8.
Bella Hinton on that kill. Had a lot of force on that, being able to squeeze past the Highlander defense.
Back deep for the serve. Ball's hit over the net.
Highlanders receive it.
Set. Here's the spike. And it's not even a spike, it's going to be a tap. Perfect play there.
Kylie Minnis utilized that set. It was not a textbook set, but she used what she had, and she turned it into a positive result.
Absolutely. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Very true.
Points on the board.
That's what we call athleticism.
Absolutely.
9-11. Dragons still up. Highlanders with the serve.
Got to get it over the net here, and they do. Oh, and they do not. The big curtain over the gym is going to deflect this one and send it back. They will rule this a Highlanders point as the score is now, the lead is decreased to 1. The Highlanders now only down by 1. Ball is sent across now. Over the net by Dablo. Great spike here. It's going to fall to the ground, tying this game up 11-all.
Kyra Sharp bringing it straight down.
Wickens now checking in for marks for the Dragons.
Caroline Hillbrigg is giving these Dragons a lot of trouble with these serves. You can tell on their pass game, it's popping up way high, just like that. They haven't been able to handle it for the last 3 plays.
The Dragons will get the point on a net violation there.
Yep.
Highlanders seem a little upset and frustrated with that call.
11-2, still neck and neck. Excuse me, 11-12.
Ball hit over the net now. Cassidy Hoback. Now the spike.
Kyra
Molly
Sharp.
Stopper with the save. Molly Stopper to send it over the net with the strong spike. Saved by the Dragons. Now the set and the spike. Here it is, and it will fall to the ground as the Dragons will now take a 13-11 lead.
Hillbrigg was just a little far behind. The Dragons put it right where she wasn't.
Ball going to be hit over the net.
Lollipop
Saved
serve.
here. Saved by Wetzel there. Be a little tap. Almost falls to the ground, but good save by the Highlanders. And the Highlanders will get it back over the net.
Lizzie Kane with the heads-up play. Saw that the Dragons were separated, and there's an open gap right in between all of them. She just tapped it right over.
Absolutely. Great play. Highlanders here now to serve it. Go back on the serve. On the set, spike. Great pass, now up. Here's the spike, and it is going to fall to the ground. And the Highlanders now tie this thing up at 13-all.
Kira Sharp putting too much heat on the Dragons. They just couldn't come up with it.
Cassidy Hoback now, senior. Back for the return, and it seems there's some kind of liquid on the floor as the Dragons are out now wiping it all up. Match is stopped for just a slight second as they're getting everything under control.
It's better just to take like 5 seconds to wipe that out and then risking one of your best players just slipping and ruining their season for that year.
Absolutely. That is 100% true. Ball not hit over. Highlanders now with it, the set, and here's the spike by Molly Stopper. Can be right off the hands of Dablo, up and hit over. Molly Stopper with a tap, almost sends it past the first line, almost gets it past the second. Great defense by the Highlanders, but we've got another net violation.
Number 25, I think he said. Excuse me, no. How many net violations do you think we've had? I'd say over.
Several. The Highlanders seem to be very frustrated with it, actually. The players are now expressing their frustration with the ref. Dragons here, back to serve it. He'll hit it over the net. Hold back, gets it. Bump set. And tap over. Ball going out of bounds. Wetzel cannot save it, though, as she will send the ball into the bleachers.
Great effort by Wetzel, just couldn't get it over. Number 5, Anna Hilbrick with the serve for the Highlanders, 14-14.
Seems to be some kind of liquid on the floor again over here.
Another one.
Now back as the Highlanders are serving it. Hilbrick sends the ball over the net. Ball's popped up, set. Here's the spike. Going to be blocked by Caden Holcomb. Great play by the Highlanders.
Holcomb absolutely stuffed the Dragons on that play, sending it right back into their face.
We're at a 15-14 Highlanders lead now score. Hilbrick with the serve. Spike, no good. Highlanders defense is able to corral it. It's going to be a tap, falls almost to the ground, but great save by the Dragons. Sent back over the net. Combs, as I don't know what the violation was there, but
that was a double hit. So that means when she set the ball, she hit it with either her left or her right then left, or her left and right. So that means basically she didn't set the ball with both hands at the same time, which is called a double hit.
Okay, so like you can't hit the ball.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you can't like double tap it and get it over.
Here's the serve, and it is going to go right past the Highlanders to send this back into the green zone. We are now at a 16-15 Dragons lead. This set seems to be nothing like the last one, as the Dragons pulled away early in the last one, and the Highlanders brought it back and won it. We're neck and neck all the way through this one.
I agree. I think the Highlanders shook them up with that great comeback in the first set.
I believe the biggest lead by either team is only 3. Highlanders now get the spike. It is going to fall to the ground, and the Dragons are going to take a 2-point lead here. 17-15 is your score. You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. And we have a timeout here by the Highlanders. Coach Bart Powell is frustrated and is going to call a timeout and bring everything together. So like I said, we are listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. I am Wyatt Williams. Alongside me, Mr.
Rafe Swearingen.
Yes, sir. Having a great time here watching some volleyball. It's a great match. Pretty even
Very
through the whole
great
thing.
match. This has been a nail biter.
The whole way through, both sets, really. I mean, I know the Dragons pulled away a little bit in the first one, but the Highlanders brought it back and made this a tight game at the very end. And this set, there hasn't been a dull moment in it at all.
Very true.
So if you are Coach Bart Powell, what are you saying to your team here in the huddle right now?
I'm saying communication. Communication is key. Because in the first set, there was a ton of passes and like I said, easy plays that got messed up, and that just let the Dragons take the lead by a long shot. So if you can minimize those easy mistakes with communication, you should be ready to go.
Ball is served now. Highlanders with it. Bump. Here's the serve. Or the spike, excuse me. The ball will fall to the ground on the Dragon side of the net.
Katie
crowd a little bit, but can't get it back over the net.
Katie Hawkins mistimed that set. She jumped, but she jumped just late, and the ball fell. And there's nothing you can do with a ball that's at your waist, because it's either a lift or you spike it right in the net.
Ball now sent over the net, and it will be sent straight out of the back of the court.
Kira Sharp having a lot of missed serves.
Keegan Kaiser now checking in for her. Dragons serve it now. Hilbrick up. Ball hit over. great defense by both teams, really being able to save this ball on both sides. Caden Holcomb with a great spike there. It's going to be hard to keep that one in bounds, but the Dragons do. And the Dragons will get the point on this one. Very close to the line, and the Highlanders are very upset with this one. They think that point should have went their way.
The Dragons' Abby Marks had an amazing pass. Highlanders shot it right down, and she picked it right back up, allowing for her team to reset, regroove, and put a point on the board.
Ball now sent over. Courtney Combs with the set, and it's going to be a bump. It can't get over the net. Courtney set it a little bit too close to the net there.
Very tough.
And not very much that Caroline Hilbert could do.
Getting, I'd say, the biggest gap in score of this set, 16-20. Dragons.
And we're going to have another point here for the Dragons. Highlanders starting to fall apart like they did in the beginning of the game, or in the first match. They can't fall apart like that now because they don't have enough time to bring this back.
Exactly. I think this is an excellent timeout call. The Highlanders' backs are kind of up against the wall now because it's not ideal to get a large gap in score, but if you're going to have that, I'd say have it at the beginning of the set. When you're this deep in the set and the other team has 21, it's a lot harder to get points on the board and gain momentum when you're this deep.
Now the score is 21-16. You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. I'm Wyatt Williams alongside me,
Rafe Swearingen.
Waiting for this volleyball match to get back and kicked off as the Highlanders called themselves a timeout. Dragons have now dispersed with about 20 seconds left of our timeout here. They're ready to go.
Timeout is over. Highlanders and Dragons going back to the court. Dragons with the ball. The score is 21-16 with the Dragons on top in the second set. Highlanders winning the first set.
Ball hit across the net.
Abby Marks with the serve for the Dragons.
Ball hit straight up. Here's the set by the Highlanders. Hilbert's going to save it, but they cannot bring it back as the Dragons, even after the Highlanders can call a timeout, they couldn't corral this one back in, and the Dragons take a 6-point biggest lead of this set, 22-16.
Hilbrick had a tough pass in number 19, Caroline Hilbrick. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there's two Hilbricks on this team.
Yes.
So both
sisters.
Oh, that's incredible. I didn't know that. Highlanders starting to fall apart.
Yeah. Holcomb has that very strong arm that she spikes with, but a little bit too much mustard on that hot dog.
Yeah, I agree. If she put the same amount of force, but just on top of the ball, it'd go straight down instead of under. Highlanders having trouble with their offense. Wow. 16-24, match point for the Dragons. Highlanders have to come up with something quick. Oh.
Holcomb now sending it back over the net, and wow, Dragons are going to win this set here. We are all tied up 1-1.
1 set to 1 set.
This has been a nail biter the whole way through.
What do you think was different between this first set and the second set between the Highlanders?
I think the Highlanders, I know it sounds crazy, but it seems like whoever starts off and plays better in the beginning loses it in the end.
That's
what
true.
It seems like to me. It seems like the Highlanders started off so well with the great start to the game, keeping it neck and neck with the Dragons, but they just pulled away there at the end where, like at the first set, they were neck and neck, but then the Dragons pulled away, and somehow the Highlanders were able to bring it back. But this time, they let the Dragons get away too late in the game, and they couldn't corral it back, and the Dragons won the set.
Yeah, mirror images of the first set.
So yeah, there's a great match here between both teams. So now that we are here, and we would like to say thank you to the following underwriting grants. Sam Kennards, Production Heating and Cooling, Kenneth Didat, DDS. Settle the Score Sports app. Baptist Health. Realtor Pat Groves, Schuler Bauer Real Estate Services. And Ethan Rapier with the Howard Group at Keller Williams.
Thank you to all those grants.
Thank you to everyone who is helping out our productions. As both teams now switch sides, getting ready for their next set. Scores all tied up here, 1-1 in the match.
It's a race to 3, Wyatt. Who can get to 3 sets quicker?
If the Highlanders can play good, the whole way through, they can win this easy. But the problem is they have little bitty spurts of where they don't play very well.
Agreed.
And it allows the Dragons to get the lead that they need to stay with the Highlanders for when they do hit that momentum spurt again and get back into this game.
In that second set, the brain fart came in too deep in the set where it couldn't allow them to come back, and it just kind of fell apart at the end.
Now, I don't know what it is with Silver Creek, man. They're always so excited to get back out there and start playing again.
Very true. They're out there. They're ready to go.
They're already ready, and like every single timeout, every single break we take, they're always first out there, and they're out there and beat the Highlanders by at least 20 to 30 seconds.
Highlanders just chilling out there.
They're all still in their huddle talking, getting ready for this next set, pumping each other up as we get ready to go for this towel tied up at 1 match.
Going into the third set.
You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. I'm Wyatt Williams alongside me,
Rafe Swearingen.
You can also check us out on YouTube. Check out go and look up SCTV Highlanders, and you can watch the live broadcast we currently have going. Special thanks to Lucas Hunchman, Kevin Foltz, Garrett Gravitt, and Lydia Gordon here helping out with this production. Couldn't do what we do without you guys on camera and back in the booth. So now both teams getting ready for this to start back up.
The teams are getting ready, but it appears the refs aren't. The refs are...
I guess they're still talking, getting ready for this next set. As there's been a lot of close calls, and it seems like the close calls have all went Silver Creek's way, as the Highlanders are very disappointed in several of the calls. Coach Bart Powell has to be the most relaxed head coach that I've ever seen. He doesn't say much. He just stands there with his hands in his pockets with a straight face and just watches volleyball and coaches.
He's got a great poker face.
He absolutely does.
All right, the Highlanders getting ready to go. The referee's all set up. The Dragons ready to kick it off.
Highlanders now talking to the refs. Everybody's set up. Ref blows the whistle, and the match will start. Lizzie Kane sends it over the net. It taps the net, and we have an ace. Was that saved?
It was not.
I was going to say, that was close, but they kept hitting it, and it sounded like they were still playing, but nope. So we do have an ace.
Number 2, Lizzie Kane, came out. Ready to go. Guns blazing.
Second ace of the game. Actually, we have a little bit of confusion here as the refs are now fighting over this, not having no clue what's going on.
A lot of confusion going on in the court.
Oh, we didn't have line judges in the back. Nobody even noticed it. Nobody was back there for line judges. The game had completely, or the match had completely, third try. The set had completely started. We didn't have any line judges.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't either. Just didn't check for him. Double now with the spike.
Absolutely stuffed by Holcomb.
Caden Holcomb absolutely just dogging that one.
Sent it straight down, right in front of the Dragons. Nothing they could do about that one.
Jeez, man, that was great.
Lizzie Kane with the serve.
Volley stopper now going to send this over the net with a big spike, and it is going to be corralled by the Silver Creek Dragons defense. Now sent back over to the Highlanders. Ball going to be hit back over, and they cannot bring this one in with a great spike by the Highlanders, now taking a 3-0 lead. Great start here for the Highlanders as the Dragons really have no answer for them so far to start off this set.
A lot of force coming from those spikes. Weightlifting really helping.
Especially with Caden Holcomb. Every time she spikes, I
Very
feel
true.
scared up here.
I can feel the floor vibrate from up here.
It's crazy.
Highlanders sitting it down, but the Dragons able to pick it up.
And there was 4 hits for the Dragons there as they sent it over.
Crowd not liking that.
No, the ref didn't call it at first until everybody went crazy, and then
Until the
finally
crowd
he noticed it.
assisted
Yeah,
the ref, yes.
yeah. Then he noticed. Ball set up.
Lizzie Kane having great sets.
Over. Set. Here's the spike. Straight to the floor. Great play here by number 19, Caroline Hilbrick. She's been a great standout player here in this game so far.
Caroline Hilbrick and Holcomb are both showing a lot of power in this game, but with Holcomb, she needs to focus it on top of the ball. In the first and second set, she had a couple times where she got under the ball and it sent it out of bounds. If she can use all that force and drive it straight down, Silver Creek is going to have a bad night.
Set. Here's the spike. Highlanders now with it. Great defense here. Great pass. Here's the spike by Molly Stoppert. And Nina's going to be barely out and barely missed the line.
Too much juice on that one.
Absolutely. Dragons finally scoring their first point. It is 5-1 is the score. Ball sent over. Straight up. Spiked by Molly Stoppert here.
Molly Stoppert.
And it is going to be sent up into the rafters, and they're still going to play it. That's odd. I haven't seen the ref do that one just yet. It hit one of the steel beams up in the top of the...
Yes, that shifted the trajectory of the ball, and that confused all of the Dragons. That's a tough play to do.
Absolutely. I don't know why the ref didn't call that one dead and just call it a Highlander point.
Very true.
Every other time it's hit the ceiling, he has. So the ball now sent over by the Highlanders. Bump set, here's the spike, and this is going to be blocked by the Highlanders front set. And the Highlander defense, the Highlander fans are super pumped up about that one. 7-1.
3 Highlander defenders had absolutely...
They just canned her. Like, there was nothing she could have done.
That was a brick wall. You can't do anything about that.
Ball hit up.
Highlanders
Here's the
receiving
bump.
it.
Here's the set, and not a spike, but a tap. Here's the set and the spike for the Dragons, and it is blocked
Stuffed
again.
Once again.
Ball hit up. Highlander defense is really showing how great they are now, and Molly Stoppert sends it right behind the defense, and they are going to keep this ball in play. The Dragons are
Highlanders
too.
are giving a lot of...
Oh, and there is no stopping that one.
Wow.
Caden Holcomb has a cannon for an arm.
That was incredible.
And the Dragons have nothing to call for.
Wow.
They call a timeout.
That's what you call momentum.
Oh my gosh. She has a cannon for an arm. She sent that straight at the Dragons. Nothing they could have done.
Wow. That was amazing.
The whole place went crazy, and the Dragons called a timeout because we are now at an 8-1 score.
Green zone going crazy after that play.
So if you're Zimmerman, the coach for the Dragons, what do you tell your players here as you're down 8-1 and frankly the momentum is nowhere near you?
That is a great question. I would say they're having a lot of trouble on their pass game. So like receiving the ball, because the Highlanders, their offense is starting to go into high octane mode. So now you got to get your pass game up because the Highlanders are bringing so much force with their spikes and their hits. If you can get your pass game down to where you can get it to your setter, that allows your offense to open up by using your defense. Another wet spot. Cleanup crew. We've noticed this court is actually having a little bit of effect on the game. A ball has hit the curtain and also the steel beams, both in favor of the Highlanders.
Absolutely. Ball now served across the Highlanders. Now the Dragons with it. Bump set, here's the spike, and it's not going to be a spike, but a tap. And the Highlanders have saved it.
Holcomb with an excellent heads-up play.
And a Doblo with the tap. Now over to the Highlander side. Here's the bump, here's the set, and here's the spike. And straight down to the ground. What a great play by senior Cassidy Hoback, hitting this ball straight across and straight to the ground.
Perfect spot. All of the Dragons were sucked up to the net. She placed it right in the back left corner of the court.
Nobody was even there. Nothing the Dragons could have done. The Highlanders now will take a 9-1 lead.
It's weird to say this, but leads haven't been this good in a game.
They have not. Not at least for the Highlanders.
Yeah, hopefully they can secure this.
Here's the bump. And
a little bit of confusion.
Yep. Dobble is going to send it back over the net, though. All good. And then here's a set in the spike, and they're able to corral this from Holcomb. And a great play by Highlander defense keeping this in, but a little bit of confusion there as Holcomb and Molly Stopper get confused, and both thought the other one was going to hit it, and the ball falls to the ground.
Like I said, the pass game, that was an excellent pass by the Dragons. That ball came down with thunder. They got it up, and they got it to the other side of the court, and they got a point from it. I think we're on cleanup number 4.
4 or 5.
Aisle 3.
9-2 is your score now. The Highlanders lead. The matches are all tied up at 1-1.
One set apiece.
Both teams are looking for a way to pull away from the other one.
Highlanders
Nobody's
doing
found
so.
it yet. Highlanders now scoring another point off of the serve.
The Dragons shortening the gap.
Oh. Dragons now here with the serve. Wetzel serves it. Molly Stopper with the spike, and it is corralled by the defense. Now up, here's the bump set and the spike, and the block by Caden Holcomb. Still going to save it, though. Holcomb going to send it over the net. Bump set, and here's the tap over the net. Still alive, the ball. Spike, and it is going to fall to the back right corner.
Cassidy Hoback just, it was too much heat on that one. Very hard to set a ball.
Yep. Dragons looking to bring this back into it. A little bit of momentum shift here onto their side. Wetzel now with the serve. 9-4 game. The Highlanders lead. Bump set. Here's a spike by Stoppert, and it is sent way out of the court in the back. Wetzel with a great serve there.
Holcomb having some, Stoppert having a little bit of issue with that ground.
Yeah, put a little bit too much mustard on the hot dog there. Put way too much power into her hit and sent it way over the back line.
Green zone chanting.
Dragons now trying to get themselves back into this. Only a 4-point deficit now instead of a 9.
Yes, closing.
So they have brought it. They've closed the gap a little bit. 2 bumps. Here we go over the net, and they cannot get it over as the Highlanders seem to be collapsing now.
Well, Wyatt, like you said, I think this is one of those brain fart moments. The momentum has shifted, and I think that the Silver Creek Dragons are doing an excellent job on capitalizing these little bits, these spurts. I take that back.
As Wetzel surfs it and sends it straight out of the back of the court, and the momentum seems to fall down a little bit. See if the Dragons can hold on to something here. As the score is now 10-6, the Highlanders lead.
Highlanders have a chance to get this momentum shift and get this game, or this set in particular, going their way. Highlanders up 10-6. Third set.
Caden Holcomb now with the serve. As she has way too much power on that one and sends it straight out of the back. Giving the point to the Dragons. 10-7 is now the score. As Holcomb, a key piece to the Highlanders' defense, is now checking out.
Holcomb has been on a ton of plays tonight.
And 3 hits.
Highlanders.
4 hits, excuse me. And there's nothing that the Highlanders can do now. Now 10-8. Highlanders lead. You're listening to 88.1 Highlanders Radio. I'm Wyatt Williams alongside me,
Brave Swearingen.
as we are getting back started here. The serve is across. The Highlanders now with it. The bump set in the serve, sit across. And the Dragons cannot do anything with it as they will hit this ball and it will straight out of bounds.
Kira Sharp nailing that ball.
Great spike there by Sharp. As Stoppert and Lizzie Kane will be checking out now.
Anna Hilbrick with the serve for the Highlanders.
Serves it across. Barely above the net. Bump set. Here's the spike. It is not a spike. It's just a tap. Sends it right into the gap where the Highlanders were not. And they collapsed on the opportunity.
That hit didn't have a lot of mustard on it, but you know what? It got the job done. They put it right where the Highlanders weren't. And if they can do that consistently, they might have a shot at the set. Gap's getting shorter and shorter.
Served now by the Dragons. And the spike by the Highlanders is going to fall. And that one was hit so hard off the spike that it bounced off of number 3, Mallory Ramsey's hands. Went straight out of the back of the court for the Highlanders' point here as they lead now 12-9.
Sharp slammed that ball so hard it came right back.
Now Bainline going to send it over on the serve. Ball's going to be smacked. Hilbert chasing. He's going to save and keep this ball in play as Courtney Combs will send this into play. And ball's still in, sent on both sides. Both times it was hit. Dragons send it back over now. Ball is tapped by the Highlanders. Now on the Dragons side, looking for the spike. It is going to be a great spike.
Coach Powell with the assist.
Coach Powell. That was a great play by him.
Excellent form. Were you taking notes on that?
Huh?
Were you taking notes on that form? Writing it down?
Yeah. Just getting ready from, I guess, when I play volleyball. Is that what we're aiming for here?
Oh, yeah.
Being you try out for the Highlander volleyball team?
Yeah. Let's go. Next year, we got it. We got it in the bag.
Sounds good. A little bit of confusion here as the refs are talking to the attendants at the desk.
As the crowd falls dead.
Yeah, that's completely silent here.
I lied. Green zone.
Yep, green zone went ahead and fixed the silence. And now we're back to silence again.
All right.
Dabo now checking in for Wetzel. Dabo has that powerful arm here for the Dragons. She's going to be set up on that left side where she's been all game. Seems like she's very comfortable over there on that side, and she's done very well over there.
Abby Marks with the serve.
Courtney Combs with the light tap to send it just past the front line. But the Dragons are able to corral it, and it will fall right in the center of all the Highlanders. 12-11. Now the Dragons have completely closed this gap to 1 point now. Dragons serve. Set and the spike is going to be blocked.
Wow. Number 2 on the Dragons making sure it was their point, sending it right back over even though the ref
Lacey
called it
Garrison
dead.
was not having that ball falling over on her side.
Twelve to 12 is your score in the third set. Abby Marks again with the serve. Highlanders are starting to crack under this pressure. Yep, timeout call. I think that's a great move by Coach Powell.
As a little bit of a flashback here, but in reverse form from the first match, as the Highlanders were down big, came back and won the set. Now it seems like the Highlanders were up huge and have given up their lead for the comeback for the Dragons. And this set will mean so much as whoever wins this set will only have one win left to win the match.
Very true.
So this is every single one is a crucial set to win, but this one especially crucial as it absolutely could decide the momentum for the rest of the game.
And you know what? Each play is taking a huge toll on the score as well because momentum is a huge factor tonight.
As a fan on the opposite side of the court has got the crowd pumped up. And now everybody getting ready to get back into this.
I think that's Mr. Baylon. An absolute unit. Abby Marks still serving the ball.
Ball sent over the net. It's going to go straight out.
Nice.
Highlanders will take their point and tie this up.
That was a good timeout. That froze the Dragons for just enough and just made it.
Killed that momentum just a little bit.
Very true, yes.
Dimmed down the light.
But the question is, can the Highlanders utilize this and bring it back for their benefit?
We will find out here as Hoback is going to send it over the net with the serve here. Another liquid on the floor here.
Another cleanup.
Another cleanup. Now, whistle blows, play will resume. Senior Cassidy Hoback will send the ball over right now. A light little serve here. Sent back. Kaiser with it. Now Combs. Holcomb is going to send this over, and we will have a 14-13 lead for the Highlanders. Caden Holcomb really showing how much of a crucial role she plays with this team. When she checked out and got a little bit of a break, the Dragons came back, but while she was in, man,
very true.
They were running, they were steamrolling.
Holcomb is a pillar of their offense and defense.
And a great, amazing block here by Caden Holcomb. We were literally just talking about her. And
yes, Holcomb not only plays a killer defense, but she's got a cannon for an arm on offense.
Does. Absolute slugger.
Nice serve.
Up. Now here's the set and the spike. It's going to be
excellent heads-up play by Kaiser. letting the ball travel and letting it go out of bounds. It's very easy to go and want to get the ball.
Now Hoback with the serve. Dragons get it, bump set. Here's the spike by Doblo.
Hoback on the chip. Hoback on the serve. Spike.
Bump set. Here's another spike by Hilbrick. Ball's going to be bump set. Here's another spike. And the Highlanders cannot corral us, and as the Dragons will get a point here, making this a 16-14 game.
Holcomb and Caroline Hilbrick, I feel, have a great chemistry together. When they're on the court, they're both offensive and defensive powerhouses.
Dang, wow, big time stuff there as Caroline Hilbrick comes up to smack the ball over, and she gets denied at the net.
Dragons.
Both Hilbrick sisters are out on the court right now, actually.
Dynamic duo.
Oh yeah. Bump set, here's the spike by Hilbrick. And the Highlanders will get a point here.
17-15. Great minds think alike.
We're now in the third set. Tied up at 1-1. Both teams looking for a little bit of an edge here.
Now this is the time that the Highlanders don't want another brain fart. Oh.
And that did not help.
That does
now bringing it to 17-16. This just
neck and
levels
neck
this
now.
game out even more.
Number 3, Mallory Ramsey with the serve for the Dragons.
Ball's going to be hit over. Here's the set and the spike by Caden Holcomb. There is nothing you can even do with that. Absolutely nothing. As Kaiser will now check out for Kira Sharp back into the game.
Kira Sharp had an excellent last set serving-wise. She puts a lot of pressure on the Dragons' defense. Just like that, you see those shanks.
Bump set, here is the spike. Caden Holcomb.
Oh my goodness
I take it back, that was Hilbrick.
Hilbrick absolutely brought it down.
I mean, that was a hit. What a play.
I felt that.
And we have a timeout by the Dragons. They have absolutely nothing to say for this Highlander offense. They're just dominating again. And at this point in the game, in this crucial of a set, you cannot allow a team to get far ahead of you because, I mean, you lose the set, it literally could cost you the game in momentum.
Yeah, then it's do or die in the third set to win. Highlanders did a very good job. They out of the timeout, correct? They had a blown serve, or it wasn't out of the timeout. They had a blown serve, and then they brought it right back. And Hilbrick,
a little bit of a mess up there, but like you said, man, they've really channeled it back. Hilbrick with the
sealing the deal.
Yeah. Several very powerful arms, it seems, that the Highlanders have this year.
Dragons always already on court.
I mean, I don't think the Highlanders have or will beat them out there tonight one time to the court.
Highlanders taking their sweet time, but now they're out there and they're ready to go. 19-16 is your score. Highlanders are up in your third set.
Ball sent over. Bump set behind. Doblo's going to take the spike here. Stopper, we've got 2 hits. Got to get it over the net now. Bump set and the spike for Doblo. And just barely out of the reach of Hilbrick. Barely missed that one. Couldn't corral it. Excuse me, my bad. I messed that up. It was Kira Sharp, barely out of the reach of Kira Sharp.
Macy Garrison bringing it.
Dragon serve. Bump set and the... We've got a net violation here for the Highlanders. Seemed like the timeout for the Dragons must have worked. Now bringing it back to a 1-point game.
Man, each set is just a nail-biter.
Absolutely. Wetzel now back to serve. Serve over the net. 2 hits, now I gotta get it over. And it's gonna fall to the ground.
Wow.
Not a Dragon seemed to care about that one or even go for it. They just let it fall carelessly to the ground. That wasn't even like that was a close call, like, you know.
No, that was
maybe
just
you
straight,
should let that go.
straight deer in the headlights.
Just let that one go. I mean, I don't even know what the thought process on that one was. It wasn't even close.
You know, confusion in the back.
Probably what it was just a bunch of confusion. Holcomb now on the serve. She's had way too much power in most of her serves tonight, but this one seems to be great.
Holcomb's back in.
And they're going to let it go. Highlanders now up.
I got tipped.
Who tipped it?
Someone, you know when they tried to chip it at the block?
Yeah. Must
Right
have just
there.
clipped some fingertips or something.
Exactly.
It didn't seem like that ball slowed down at all or changed movement patterns. It just went.
Yeah, I guess the
So,
ref
but
has
the ref is a lot closer than we are.
That's
He-
very
he
true.
probably
He has a
a
perfect
better
view.
view
Yeah.
than we do. So that's probably where it lies.
Number 7, Abby Tandy on the serve.
Bump set. Here is the spike. And it's going to be blocked by the Dragons. It's sent under the net. Hilbert falls and she sends it under. We are all tied up at 20 here.
I don't know what the Dragons did, but their defense is starting to beef up because Kyra Sharp has been absolutely blowing them up. But they just brought it back, and they're now blocking it very efficiently.
Ball sent over the net. Here's the spike by Stopper. It's going to be tapped by the Dragons. Spike by Doblo, and it is going to go off the hands of Kira Sharp and out of bounds.
Momentum is starting to shift towards the Dragons.
21-20 as the Dragons take the lead here. Crucial moment here. Highlanders need some kind of momentum. Bump set, here's the spike. Down, saved by the Dragons on their side now. And it's going to go out of bounds as the Highlanders will tie this thing up at 21. Like we said earlier, not a dull moment in this whole matchup. Nobody really has pulled away from anybody and not brought it back. I don't think
there hasn't been a runaway set
Yeah, I don't
yet.
think there's been one set that's finished farther away from what, 3 points, 4 points?
Yeah, not one at all.
Ball's hit over now. Combs to Sharp. Sharp's gonna hit it over and it's gonna fall to the ground on the Dragons side. 22-21 now is the score.
Sharp hit it to Katie Hawkins, who just couldn't handle it. Dropped right in front of her. Another fellow Dragon tried to pick it up, but just wasn't enough. 22-21 is the score. Highlanders are up. Third set.
Like I said, another cleanup here.
Another cleanup.
Because there's like 8 or 9 now.
We need to get a towel boy.
Jim completely silent for Hilbert's serve. And
wow. Complete. That was an
mental
absolute
error. I don't even know what just happened there, but
The light went out on that one. I
mean,
can't. Wow. That's
Mallory
exact-
Ramsey didn't even try to defend that one. She literally just turned around
That's
and it
it.
went right past her and fell 4 feet in front of the line. It wasn't even close. Hilbert now with another great serve. Ramsey's not going to let this one fall again.
Anna Hilberg put the perfect amount.
And another great block here by the Highlanders, sending that to the ground, taking a 24-21 lead. Match point.
See if the Highlanders can seal the deal right here. What you do not want to do is have a blown serve. All you just have to do is get it over and see if the Dragons can handle it, because they're shutting down mentally right now. Nice. Excellent D. Excellent.
And the Highlanders will win this set, 25-21.
Highlanders take the third set. Highlanders are up 2 sets while the Dragons are up 1.
And the Highlanders all celebrating. This is absolutely amazing. This is great play by all the Highlanders. They are all so pumped up.
Last set the Highlanders cracked right at the end. On the second set the Highlanders cracked right at the end, allowing the Dragons to take that set. But in this set, the Dragons cracked and the Highlanders took it.
Absolutely great. I shouldn't even say third set. All sets have been great. There hasn't been, like we said, there hasn't been a dull moment in any of the sets yet. They've all been close games. I mean, just absolute great play from both teams.
This is one of the best games I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you look down at that Dragons huddle right now, they are all frustrated, and they are all trying to get themselves pumped up and back in this. They know the significance of this match. They have to win this match, or they'll be loading the bus and going home. Very disappointed. So if the Highlanders will win this set, they will win the match. And if the Dragons win, they will send it to a 5th match, which will mean the final set and the 5th set will be worth 15 points to win it. So yeah, I mean, just absolute, like we said, absolute great play from both teams. Not a dull moment in any of these 3 matches. Absolute nail biters in all 3. No teams have won by more than, what would you say, 5 points?
Yeah, definitely. Not a point higher than 5.
I mean, it's been a great game. I'm definitely not disappointed. I don't know about you, but
Definitely.
I'm satisfied.
This game is definitely worth the price of admission.
Yeah, if you're not here and you're not tuned in, you are definitely missing out.
You are. An excellent game. Dragons, of course, are out way before the Highlanders.
It's like they're racing, man.
Yeah,
They still have a minute and 30 seconds
Yeah.
until we get this thing kicked off. They could still be in the huddle going over game plans, getting ready with the coach. And maybe that's some of the late mental errors is rush to get back out there.
You know what? Yes, I haven't thought about that. You know what? The Highlanders are actually using the entire
They utilize
timeout.
all their time, and it seems like that's really worked for them. But it seems like, I guess that's what's been the Dragons' killer, is they don't utilize all their time
Very true.
to their max potential they can. And I guess that's, I mean, if you're down 2-1 right now is the time where I want to be with coach going over game plans and
Yes,
stuff.
very true.
So that way, if stuff does happen, your coach can just yell out some words and know you can completely flip formations, whatever he needs to do.
Definitely making adjustments
Absolutely.
on the fly.
Where now he's got to call a timeout, and I think it's going to kill him later on in the match.
I agree, definitely.
And this decision to be out here right now could cost them the match, and it's really going to be it's going to be disappointing if it does.
Not only that, they're coming out cold, too. The Dragons are
Yeah.
just sitting there and standing while the Highlanders are with their coaches tuned in and listening.
Absolutely. I think that's been a key part to the Highlanders' success. I see now the Dragons came out with about a minute and 45 seconds left of the break, and here the Highlanders now breaking huddle, still haven't, just now broke with 17 seconds left. I mean, so like we said, utilizing all their time that they can. I don't know. But like we said, maybe that's the issue with the Dragons so far.
It's definitely a key factor, I'd say.
Absolutely. We're now ready to get this thing kicked off.
Hilbrick and Holcomb are on the court, and they, I think, have been the dynamic duo of this game. And Kyra Sharp. Kyra Sharp has played an excellent game as well.
Menace, Kaiser's out there. Kane and Bainline are all the lineup for the Highlanders right now, and out there for the Dragons we have Hinton, we have Weber, we have Doblo, Garrison, Ramsey, and Marks is the lineup out there right now for the Dragons.
Now it's do or die for the Dragons because this could be their final set.
I think this is the best spot to be if you're the Highlanders. You're very comfortable, but just keep playing the way you're playing. Don't let up now that you have a little bit of momentum. Keep on that gas pedal. Keep moving, keep rolling. Now the Dragons will send this ball across. Bump set. Here's the tap by Holcomb, trying to get that easy point, but can't quite get there. They're going to send the ball back over the net. Can't corral it, though. We've got 4 hits by the Dragons, and it will be a Highlander point. Starting out this match 1-0.
I think the Highlanders have scored the first point on every single set.
I believe so. Hilbert now sending the ball over. And here's the set and the spike. And falling to the ground as the Dragons will tie this up 1-1.
15, Bella Hinton with that kill for the Dragons.
Now, Wetzel back. Awaiting her time to serve.
I'm glad we have line judges this set.
Ball's hit up and over the net. Bump set, and here's the spike straight down, and it will roll down the front of the net. Could not quite get it there.
Kyra Sharp putting a lot of heat on that, but just barely couldn't get it over that net.
Wetzel sending the ball back over the net. Here's the bump, the set, and the spike here for Sharp as a diving save here for the Dragons, and just a tap here for the Highlanders, send it back over.
Mallory Ramsey made an excellent play. She pancaked that ball, allowing it to get up, but she wasn't there in time. She had bad positioning on that play.
And Bayline has a great hit to the back right corner.
Bayline capitalizes on it.
Absolutely, to get the point and tie this match up 2-2. Like we said, Holcomb has had some issues serving tonight, is putting a little bit too much power in her serves. We'll see if she's fixed that. She seemed to do it last time, but it's still the Dragons scored. Great serve there, keeping it out of the reach. Highlanders now with it. Here is going to be the spike, and it is going to fall straight to the ground.
Kira Sharp with that kill, right in front of Ramsey.
Highlanders now up 3-2. Like we said, Holcomb had some issues. Hopefully she can keep this in check. She looked great on her last 2 serves. Hopefully this one continues it.
If you notice why, we do have line judges this set.
we did start with line judges this set, you're correct. Another great serve by Holcomb, keeping this one in. Just a tap.
Absolutely
and a great play by. Oh, we're still going. But it's still going to sail out. Okay, that was a little bit of confusion.
Oh my god, wow, okay.
Now this is just completely confusing.
Okay, so what happened is Kira Sharp tapped it back over to the Dragons. I thought the ball hit, but I guess someone must have pancaked it and brought the ball back up, and the Dragons put it right back down on the Highlander side of the court when the Highlanders thought it was dead.
And so when they hit it back, the ball sailed out. The ref called some kind of violation.
Yes.
So that's where I was confused. I caught up with it there, but hey, wow. Looks like they're going to get it right back as the ball is served and could not sail over the net and is stopped just short of the net.
That's also a problem. I think the Dragons, they've gotten a lot of the referee calls, like the close calls, like you wouldn't
really
like not the athletic like physical calls, but like the referee calls, and they're not really capitalizing on them. They get them like here and there, but if they could like roll off of it and build off of it and like turn that into one of the spurts, like those bad spurts for the Highlanders, then they could get something rolling.
Here's the spike for the Dragons. Great pass there. Another spike here for Sharp. It's going to be blocked and it will fall to the ground as the Dragons are going to tie this up 4-4.
Excellent defense by Katie Hawkins and Bella Hinton. Stuff that ball.
And now, Bella Hinton back to serve. Ball served. Hilbert with the hit, but seems to have a little bit too much of a side angle on that one. Sends it straight out of bounds as the Dragons will take a 5-4 lead here.
Macy Farrell had a tough time passing that ball.
Hinton now back to serve it again.
Let's see if they can correct it.
Ball served, hit by Hilbrick. Bump set and spike. It's going to fall to the ground, and the Dragons cannot save it as they will send it straight out of bounds. We are all tied up at 5 again.
Neck and neck like usual.
Absolutely. I think every single time every single match when we've got to the 5th or the 10th rally, it's been tied 5-5 every single time.
Yeah, definitely. Number 5, Anna Hilbrick, lacing up.
Tying her shoes. Her teammates messing with her a little bit, saying come on and trying to get this ball rolling. Just kidding with her. Bump set, here's the spike. Couldn't quite block, and it's going to sail right past Holcomb's hand. Or excuse me, not Holcomb. It is
Cassidy Hoback.
Cassidy Hoback. My bad. Now the Dragons going to take a 6-5 lead. I'm pretty sure every single match has went 6-5 for one team. I don't know. I think the Highlanders had 6 the first previous matches, and now the Dragons do. Now the serve. Still we're going to bump it up. And the spike is going to be blocked, and net violation here, as they are going to give the points.
It was either a net violation or a double hit. I can't tell which one. But what I've noticed throughout these sets, around the 10th point is where the teams start.
Yeah, one team will start to kind of ease
breaking away.
Yep. Now Cassidy Hope. Oh, another
clean up.
Near the free throw line on the basketball and volleyball court. And it's so important.
Oh, another one.
It's so important to make sure you have all those wet spots up. You can really get yourself hurt on those.
Very true.
Cassidy Hoback.
Libero with the serve. Confusion on the Dragons' part.
And that ball is hit hard.
Coach Powell with another assist. He's been on fire tonight. Keegan Kaiser with an amazing diving play. Almost gets it back over to the team.
It was close. Coach Powell seemed to get in the way, though.
Coach Powell wanted that.
He wouldn't let that one slip by him. So now the serve by Ramsey.
Keegan Kaiser with an excellent pass.
Bump set, and the tap is going to fall straight to the ground right in the middle of all of the Dragons. We now have a 7-7 all score. Highlanders lead 2-1 in the match.
Right about
Courtney
now.
Combs and Hilbrick are both going to be checking out. And here we go on the serve.
Bayline, Holcomb.
Lizzie Kane sends it over. Great play there by the Dragons, send that back over.
A little bit of miscommunication by
Here's
the
the
Highlanders.
set and the spike. And it's going to go straight out of bounds as the Highlanders will take a 1-point lead at 8-7.
Cassidy Hoback with the smart decision, just let that ball go.
Lizzie Kane now getting ready. Ball hit up, sent across the net. Bump, set, spike. Able to save that one, the Dragons are. And the ball's gonna fall to the ground as the Dragons will tie this up 8-all.
That ball either went off of Holcomb's hands or Bayline's, and it just went at a weird angle where the Highlanders just couldn't come up with it.
Now we got
Another cleanup. We need to get a cleanup counter.
We need to have that. We need to have them back in the studio where we can just be like, hey,
Yeah, we
tally on
gotta
one
add
more.
that.
We'll have that next week. Tune in next week.
Tune
for
in
the
next week
for
for
the
the-
cleanup counter. Now, is there still cleanup to spill on the floor?
Cleanup
Making
counter,
sure everybody's safe.
cleanup counter and towel time.
Oh, there's two.
Wow, a double whammy.
Dragons now will be serving on this one, taking a little bit of time that they have to huddle, get everybody mentally prepared.
I'm surprised the Dragons weren't ready to go the entire time. Because when they get out of their huddles, they're right on the court.
Here's the set and the spike by Holcomb. Holcomb was not going to spike it, though. She's going to tap it. And the block here is going to be saved by Ramsey, though. So the ball is still going to fall to the ground just moments later, and we'll take a 9-8 Highlander lead.
Bayline and Holcomb absolutely stuffed the Dragons on that.
Sharp now checking in for Kaiser.
If Sharp can get some, Caroline Hilbrick has been absolutely on fire with her serves this match. If her team can allow her to stay serving as long as possible, good results will happen. Oh, if they can get it up, yes they can.
Saved that.
Great heads-up play, good hand-eye coordination.
And the Dragons are going to come back through and capitalize on that one.
Very
and tie
good.
this back up.
9-9. Not much separation this set.
Not much at all. Ball sent over the net. Bump, set, here's the spike.
Kira Sharp.
And an absolute stuff, but could not quite corral it. As the two girls came down, the ball came straight under them with the net. Could not quite save that one. 10-9 is your score now. Wetzel serves. Bump, set, here's the spike. And it's going to fall straight to the ground. Absolutely nothing Wetzel could have done there as Caden Holcomb is absolutely dogging these people out right now.
Holcomb spit an absolute mortar down to that. Oh my goodness. What a shot. Holcomb serving it now. See if she can tame the serve. She can.
Great serve.
That ball hitting off of Kylie Minnis' hands for a Dragons point. You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. I'm Rafe Swearingen, and with me is
Wyatt Williams.
a great day to be watching some volleyball.
Absolutely great game.
Excellent game, an absolute barn burner. Ramsey with the serve. Bayline with the set. Sharp with the hit. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Kyra Sharp on the hit. Just a little too high. Went out of bounds. 10-12 is the score. Dragons are up. 2 sets for the Highlanders and 1 set for the Dragons.
Ball's hit over. Bumped up now. 2 hits now. Highlanders got to get it over. As they will, Wetzel is going to send it back up. The bump and the spike. And it's going to go straight out. Highlanders will now get the point. Make this a 12-11 game. The Dragons still lead.
Now it's almost a game of who's going to break first, who's going to make the first slip up.
Yep. They've stayed neck and neck all the way through to this point.
Yeah, this set is, I'd say, the best set so far.
Absolutely. So we've had a game the whole way through. We haven't had one moment where it was just kind of, one team was far-sided ahead.
Yes.
We've been even the whole way through.
Having some confusion.
I don't know, yeah. I don't know what's going on. Jim is completely silent. You could probably hear a pin drop in Miss Poindexter's room.
I'm surprised the green zone isn't chanting.
Oh, yeah, it's completely silent here.
Referee.
I don't know what's going on, though.
Yeah, this is the longest break for a ref we've had. Checking in with
Some
another
kind of confusion
announcer.
as to what's going on, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if he's discussing the score or I don't know if what's happening.
Maybe an incorrect sub.
Oh, that might be what it is, actually.
Because he's pointing to Silver Creek side, so it might be on the. Oh, he's going to the Highlanders. Nope, bringing it to the. Okay, he's talking to Coach.
Coach Zimmerman, him having a conversation now.
Wow, really taking their time on this one, making sure they get it right.
Now, giving it just a second, is the ref still discussing with Booth. Everything seems to be okay.
Another discussion with Mr. Zimmerman. Maybe we have a conclusion. I think we're coming to an end here. Making sure everyone knows.
I think I know what it is.
What's your guess?
That ref
Yeah?
doesn't want to go to bed tonight. He wants to stay out all night.
Yeah, he's
And this
partying
match
hard.
is never going to end.
Yes.
So we're still awaiting what will be the outcome of this long break.
An absolute.
Back to Zimmerman now.
Man.
He's not giving him a break.
Man, he needs to get Zimmerman's number. Whew. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
I don't even know what happened, dude.
I don't either. There's no explanation, nothing.
Now
Nobody came off the court. Nobody came on the court. We just kind of just resumed.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know.
Now discussing with Coach Powell. Bringing it back. And back to the announcer.
Back to the booth.
Oh, wow. Let's go back to the instant replay. I'm just playing. Wow, oh my goodness.
I don't know what is going on.
Delay of game.
15 or a 5-yard penalty on the offense here.
15-yard penalty.
I don't know why it's a 15. Whoops. 5-yard penalty here on the offense for a delay of game. Both teams have just completely disbanded now and re-huddled back up, not in their positions.
On the court, I know.
Everybody's just waiting. Oh, and Powell's walked away. The ref's going back to him.
Referee's getting his workout in today. I don't think I've ever witnessed a call take this long.
I've never even seen a football.
Yes, agreed.
Call
in any
wait
sport,
this long.
yeah.
Any sport. And football is the one normally that takes the longest, honestly.
Yeah, in the high school level, yes.
And even at the pro sometimes, because the refs got to go in the little booth,
yes, and check
review it, then they got to send it to New York and ask questions.
Exactly.
Right. Second whistle. I think we're going to go this time. Hold on, he's going back over to the
false alarm.
No, we are going to play.
All right,
we're
back in at 12-11 is the score. 12-11 is the score. Dragons are up. We're in the fourth set. The Highlanders.
Terrible way to start it.
Yeah, that wasn't good. But you see what that did? That call that took forever froze up the Highlanders.
Like a timeout.
Yeah, that was more than a timeout, dude.
It really was actually.
Like 2. That was like halftime.
Yeah. It was so half. We had a second halftime. Now ball served over by the Dragons. A fake set. She's gonna sit, and Courtney Combs is sitting right over. Now the spike for the Dragons. Great play here.
Kira Sharp on the pass.
These guys are not giving up, man. They are relentless right now. Both teams are just sending it back and forth.
Excellent movement on the Highlanders offense.
Getting it back over. And the Dragons will finally score the point here.
Dragons capitalized. The Highlanders were out of position. They were scrambling to get that ball in the air and get it over, but they just left that left side of the court open, and the Dragons saw it and punished them for it.
Great play and great awareness as to where everybody was on the court for the Dragons, and they capitalized on that one.
And a timeout will be called. I think it's Coach Powell.
Yeah, I think the Highlanders just called a timeout. I mean, you're down by 3 right now. I think it's a great timeout to call before, you go down by 6
definitely.
or more.
Especially in your third set when you can just seal the deal on this.
I mean, you could win it right here, literally. I mean, so why not bring them together now, have them bring them back in the game, get neck and neck again, and then pull away.
Definitely.
So if you are Coach Zimmerman, what are you saying to your team right now? I mean, you're down, or you're up. You're down in the match, but you're up in the set, and you need this set to stay in this game. What are you saying right now?
I'm saying focus on every single play. Every single play counts. You have to get every serve, get every pass, every set, every bump. You got to make sure they're right. Every play counts because every play equals to every set. And so right now, there is no such thing as a next set. They have to focus on this one right now, and they have to capitalize on this lead that they have with 3 points, and they have to come out on top on the set to keep going.
So now both teams getting back in their spots.
Surprisingly, I didn't notice, were the Dragons out first? They probably were. From the huddles, like usual.
I do believe they were. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think they were. Ball's hit up. Still going to be brought over the net by the Highlanders. Now going to be sent back over. Bump, set, and the points.
Double hit by the Highlanders. I don't know who did that.
I think on the set she left and right.
Yes.
Bang bang like that. And
Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Now set over 11-15 is the score. Highlanders now with it. Here's the bump in the set, and the
Highlanders are having trouble getting their sets down.
Yep. Seeming to overshoot it or undershoot it every single time. And that time we had a great set and a great spike, but it is completely blocked and brought down by Macy Garrison.
This is exactly what the Dragons need. They need momentum, and they need to keep capitalizing on every play. And they've utilized the lead so far pretty well.
And
wow. Out.
Bad hit here by Hilbrick, and she is going to send this ball completely out of play up into the stands with the Silver Creek families.
Highlanders are having one of their spurts.
They are. Hope they need to corral this now while they still can. Down 17-11.
Yes, sir. They're on the latter half of the set.
Ball is up. Served. They're going to let it go.
Very heads-up play.
Great heads-up plays. You heard great communication from the whole team.
Yes, they
everybody.
did.
I don't think there was one person of the 6 out there that didn't yell out. So great communication there by the Highlanders.
Great teamwork. 12-17. Dragons are still up. Highlanders serve it. Keegan Kaiser with the pass.
Set, and here we go. Oh, fake set, and it is
Very
almost
good play.
Still, when they go to save that, they hit it right out of bounds. Highlanders now with a little bit of a momentum push.
Highlanders got the Dragons in a rhythm. It was always a bump, set, spike, and they switched it up to bump, set, and the set went over, and they weren't ready for it.
And when she did, she dived, and when she hit it, it went too far out of bounds. Bad serve there, Keegan Kaiser.
Just short.
I love the way the Highlanders are reacting and playing as a team, though, when people mess up. Literally,
Definitely.
Kaiser said, "My bad." Everybody came in, hugged her, was like, "It's okay. We got to rally, keep this going."
Yes.
I love the way they did this. Absolutely. And that is the reason why they're staying in this, because of how well they're playing as a team. Highlanders now hitting the ball up.
Keegan Kaiser with
2 hits now. Ball's got to go over for the Highlanders. There's the spike.
excellent block, Keegan. Ooh, that's a tough play for Keegan Kaiser. She was a little bit out of position on the left, and she had to make a diving one-armed pass. That's very difficult.
19-13
Yes.
the score.
Highlanders got to muster up something.
They got to get something going to win this.
And as you've noticed, Oh, wow.
Great, amazing spike here by Kylie Minnis.
Kylie Minnis absolutely brings it down. Oh, I was just about to say, yes. Every time they have one of their spurts, it seems that
Caden Holcomb is just
Holcomb
not in.
isn't in.
Knew what you were going to say before you even said it. I noticed it too, man. I don't know what it is. She's just a key player for this Highlander team. Set now, or serve, excuse me. Ball hit up, and a little bit of a jab there as the ball's going to go over. What a play by Anna Hilbrick.
That was amazing. Katie Hawkins on the Dragons wasn't expecting for her to make that play and just couldn't utilize it.
She backed off a little bit. And
another timeout is called.
Highlanders really excited about this one as the minute timeouts will commence. 19-15 is the score. You're listening to 88.1 Highlander Radio. I am Wyatt Williams alongside me,
Ray Swearingen.
That's him.
That's me. Taking a timeout right now. We are in the fourth set, I believe. Yes, fourth set because the Highlanders have 2 sets under the belts. The Dragons have 1. This is do or die for the Dragons. And rolling down this timeout with about 43 seconds to go. Dragons already on the scene, ready to go, like usual.
What that tells me is they didn't need a moment to change formations or anything. They just needed to stop the momentum the Highlanders were getting. That's what, when you take a timeout and you only utilize 15 seconds of it, that's just telling me that you needed to stop their momentum.
Yes, and have them freeze up.
Yep. Just try and do anything you can at this point to keep them from coming back. Highlanders done a great job of that tonight.
Hoback with the serve.
Great serve there by Hoback. Ball's hit up. Second hit now, it's got to be served over. And it's another great hit. Dragons got to get over here.
Hoback with another good set.
Hit over just under the net, and the Highlanders could not save it. 20-15 will be the score now as the Dragons lead.
The Dragons gave the Highlanders a little bit of a dose of their own medicine because, like I said, that one play, the Highlanders built up rhythm, and so did the Dragons. And instead of on the set, she did it right on the first touch of the ball on their side.
There's a bump, the set, spike by Holcomb, but a fake spike, and she's going to tap it.
That was an amazing play. That was an excellent fake.
And everybody, you know when Holcomb jumps up like that, everybody's jumping up to try and block it before she can get a bunch of power under it.
Definitely.
And so she just barely taps it, fakes everybody out.
Very smart move. She's been slamming it all night. She went up just like she usually does, like she's about to nail it right in your forehead. Barely taps it right over you.
Ball is served now. Bump set, here's the spike. Highlanders are going to save it though, barely.
Excellent defense.
And it will fall to the ground. And Silver Creek is very pumped up for this.
I'd say
21-16 is the score now.
I'd say the momentum is about equal right now. It can go either way. I think
really
whoever starts rolling right now is going to take it. If it's a bad serve, I think Highlanders are going to take it.
Dragons only need 4 points. Bump set, here's a spike by Bainline. Great power behind that one. Couldn't quite beat him on that one, but it was still a great spike.
Nice heads-up play by number 2 on the Highlanders. 31, just Bainline could not get it. All right, 22-16, Dragons are up. Smart. That's a smart timeout.
Now to try and get your team back into this. I mean, we got a 6-point deficit here. And there is, all the Dragons need is 3 points, so you need a big-time play here.
Do something, freeze them up, change it up.
As you're staring down the barrel of, you need 9, and they're staring down the barrel of, they only need 3.
Right.
And if they get these 3, they're sending it to a final set with momentum of just winning
the last set. That's very true, and not only are they carrying their momentum, the set is half as long. And so that allows them to score more points in a shorter amount of time, and that wouldn't give the Highlanders enough time to recover.
And every single match that we've had so far, it seems like up until when we get to the 15th point, by that time, the Silver Creek Dragons have actually had a little bit of a lead.
Yes, they've always been up by 2-ish or 1 or 2.
Bit, yeah. Highlanders never really take their lead until they get to the 20s.
Very true. They're
late teens.
Yes.
Yep. Late teens, early 20s.
Holcomb with another
play
fake
by Holcomb. That is absolutely amazing.
That's exactly what the Highlanders need. Come out, get a point, have the ball on their side. This is exactly what the Highlanders need. Caroline Hilbrick has been absolutely electric as a server.
Tapped over.
Nice.
Bump set. And this time she actually is going to spike it.
She went
Holcomb.
through with it. Oh my goodness gracious.
Absolute power.
Abby Marks sent that to the freaking dirt.
What a play.
But will it be enough? Highlanders are actually down 5. 17-23 is the score. Highlanders are down 5. Natalie Lostetter getting subbed in for Bayline. Only sophomore on the court, I believe.
Bumped up. There's a set and a tap.
Holcomb.
Another fake by Holcomb.
Nice diving play by Hilbrick.
And the ball is going to fall for a Highlander point here in a crucial moment. 18-23 is the score now. Dragons still lead. The Dragons are playing with serious passion here, as they know if you screw this up and you lose this set, it's over. You're going home. Warm the buses, send them home.
Holcomb with the serve.
Not too much power on it. Great play there by Sharp to keep the Highlanders in this set at 19-23.
Ramsey had a tough time with that serve. And the ball actually came over the side, the top of the net, and Kira Sharp had an excellent eye and found it and placed it right where no one was. 19-23, the gap's getting smaller and smaller.
Seems like as Holcomb gets excited, though, she seems to hit the ball a little harder. So hoping that she doesn't hit it too hard.
Very close on that.
That time she had a little too shallow.
And
a great block, and the Highlanders are only down by 3 now.
Kylie Minnis with the block. That was amazing. The spike on the Dragon side had no power because the set was very far behind her, so she knew she had to jump later rather than sooner. Holcomb hopefully can keep consistent with these serves. She can.
Holcomb sent right over.
Excellent. Putting good pressure on Ramsey on the Dragons. Excellent up by Lizzie Kane. Excellent teamwork. They had excellent communication on the play. You heard them all say out. It was out.
Oh my gosh. The Highlanders have completely brought themselves back into this.
If I was Coach Zimmerman and I had a timeout, I'd use it right now.
Before you let these guys get way too close.
Yep.
All you need is 2 points. That's it.
Now you're tied up. Yeah, big time. You need. Yep. Ramsey's having a difficult time later in these games.
And the Highlanders are completely back into this. 23-22 is the score. Everybody is going crazy. They love it.
Zimmerman.
Timeout Zimmerman, and this is huge for the Highlanders. They absolutely love it.
Wow.
And at this point, honestly, I don't know if that was a momentum stopper. I don't think you stopped the Highlanders' momentum.
Yes.
If they come back from this big and you have to call a timeout, they know that you stopped it for that reason. They're going to carry that momentum through.
They know that you're in a corner. And right now, this is the time for the Dragons. They need to come up with something.
Yep.
Something to stop these Highlanders and rack 2 points on them.
So now the Dragons are going to be breaking their timeout already super early. Only about 20 seconds in. Highlanders will now be breaking early too.
Highlanders have 2 sets.
Highlanders need 3 to win it. Dragons need 2.
Dragons have 1 set under their belt. Highlanders have 2. This could be it if the Highlanders can kill it, and it'll keep going if the Dragons can find a way to bring it. 22-23. Dragons are still up.
Holcomb back with the serve. This is her 5th serve in a row.
Let's see if she can do it. She's been, she got held for the timeout. Let's see if she's gone cold. She has not.
Still serving great. Here's the spike. It's going to go straight to the ground as the Dragons are going to take a 2-point lead. So no matter what now, even if the Highlanders come back, they will need to win by 2 now.
Yes.
So this has just made it even harder for the Highlanders, as now at this point, they're going to need 4 points to win this.
Yes.
Instead of just 3. And
that's
now
a lot harder.
All that the Dragons need is 1 point, and they have the serve. Huge advantage for them here to try and send this to the final set. Ball sent over.
Great pass. Sharp with an excellent slam. Nice
Highlanders
up.
are able to corral it. Another spike by the Highlanders. And it's going to fall to the ground. Highlanders have now brought this into 1 point.
That's exactly what the Highlanders needed. They needed to execute, and they did that. Now, all you need to do is get this serve over. Because if you don't, not only did you lose a point, you're down by 2, and that could be your game.
Yep.
Or set.
Yep. Hilbert sends the ball over now. It's going to go too far. And we will see a 5th set tonight in an absolute great match and a nail-biter through and through. This is never a disappointing moment so far.
I've been thoroughly entertained. This is amazing.
I have called several great games for the Highlanders. I even called one where we played New Albany. Floyd did, and Lindsey Dorsch hit a last-second three-point shot on the opposite side of the court from me, and Kevin Foltz was calling that with me, and we went absolutely crazy. But I can say this is definitely top 3 greatest games I have ever called. This is insane.
Definitely.
And depending on the ending of this one, depends on where it'll rank in 1st or 2nd.
Yes. What are your expectations? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the rules for the 5th set. This is the tiebreaker set.
Yes, it's a little bit different.
So for a normal volleyball set, you need 25 points to win. So for the tiebreaker set, you only need 15, and you still must win by 2 at least.
Yes.
So,
all right.
Here we go.
2 sets for each team. This is going to be it. Now you see what Silver Creek has done very well this game. They've gotten points early in the game.
They've gotten great early leads, but
yes.
Actually last time they almost lost it again. They've had this narrative where like they'll get this early great lead and they'll get going and everything, and then the Highlanders will just come stomping and roaring back. And
yes, that actually
they were luckily able to stop them.
Yes, that actually might be a problem for the Highlanders because usually they're a late set game. And so
you can't be a late set game in this.
Yes, exactly. You got to
get going and keep going.
Exactly.
This is too short of a game to screw around in the beginning.
Definitely.
At this point, I would not be surprised if we saw like a 16-14 final score. Like we went all the way.
Definitely.
Like at one point we were tied 14-14.
Yes.
Like it would not surprise me. The winner in this, it would not surprise me if the final score in this was only it was a 2-point score. It would not surprise me at all.
This game has been an absolute nail-biter.
I mean, neck and neck the whole way.
Yes, definitely.
Highlanders won the first set. The Dragons won the second set. Highlanders won the third set. And then now the Dragons won the fourth. And like I said, never a dull moment so far. I mean, they're just all together. If
the Highlanders can take the victory on this, it'll be an amazing first home game.
Absolutely. Great way to start off the season.
Definitely.
As they seem, I do think they'll have a little bit of struggle this year because of the age gap they have between themselves and other teams. They're a very young team.
With the lack of seniors.
Let's see here. They don't have any seniors on their starting 6.
Very true.
It's all let's see here. Keegan Kaiser, sophomore. Natalie Lewis-Stutter, sophomore. Caden Holcomb, junior. Caroline Hilbeck, a freshman. They even have freshmen out here.
Yes.
Kylie Minnis, another freshman. And Anna Cobb, a junior.
The crowd absolutely roaring for this final set.
Here we go.
All right.
The Highlander fans are extremely pumped up and ready to go for this one.
Highlanders have the ball.
As Lizzie Kane will start us off here with the first serve of the 5th set. And an absolute nail-biter. We will get this 5th set started off. Ref gets the thumbs up. Whistle blows.
All
and
right.
we will start. Here we go.
Kicking it off. 5th set. Here we go. All right, serve is good. Wow.
A terrible start here for the Highlanders.
Absolute power coming in from the Dragon side.
That's big-time momentum. You have to shut that down and win this next
Definitely.
rally. You have to.
No time for screw-ups in this last set.
Absolutely not. So here we go. Ball hit across now. Bumped up. Set. And a light tap by Caden Holcomb. They were able to corral this one, not falling for her tricks this time. This one's actually going to get spiked, and they cannot save this one. Caden Holcomb will send this one roaring to the ground.
Excellent variation. She hit it lightly the first time, and now she got them on their toes. Is she going to hit it light? Is she going to hit it hard? She hit it hard, and she hit it perfectly.
You cannot be on your toes with her. You've got to be well set and ready to go for her because she will absolutely pummel this thing in your face, and then if you're too close, she's going to tap it right over your head and drop it.
Very true.
She has been a great player this whole game.
She's been a key player.
Absolutely.
Oh, is she? Oh, she's still in the play. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. She's closest to us right here in the front row.
Yes.
So 1-1, we're all tied up as the spike comes
Wow.
for Silver Creek, and they will have a point here.
Highlanders seeming to be a little bit out of position, either left or right or front or back.
Dablo now checking out, and Wetzel now checking in an absolute just clash. That's the best way I can explain it. Neck and neck the whole way through. Like we said 1,000 times, no dull moments. Full through and through, great game.
Lollipop serve. Confusion on the Highlanders end.
Big time hit here, and they are able to save it here for the Dragons. Great save here again. Another hard spike is going to fall straight to the ground. A little bit of confusion there for a second, but it did touch down, and we are all tied up at 2-2.
Number 10, Faith Wetzel, just couldn't get it. The ball had a little too much heat on it. 2-2, neck and neck.
Kaden Holcomb now back to serve. We know she's had some issues throughout this game on serving too hard. Let's see if she can corral this in.
Yes, she
Sends
can.
it over perfectly.
Very good set, giving him a lot of pressure.
It's Kaden Holcomb diving save, but it's just short. Confusion by the Highlanders not looking.
That's what you can't do. You can't have these brain farts this deep in a game.
And Holcomb is coming out.
Oh, that's good. Oh.
I don't think she'll stay out for long.
Okay.
Ball will fall to the ground.
Highlanders take a point?
Take a point here.
I don't know what happened. Infraction something. But yeah, you've seen Highlanders. They haven't done, with Holcomb out, they usually don't do stellar. Number 5 for the Highlanders with the serve. Hitting the rafters.
I cannot believe they let that play.
Yeah. Lizzie Kane saw the trajectory and nailed it.
Oh, and just barely outside of the reach as we were all tied up 3-3. A little bit of confusion here as the Dragons do have 4. Some of the parents noticed. I noticed it a minute ago, but I thought I was wrong. That's why I didn't say anything. But then I look over and a bunch of the parents are saying 4, so I was like, okay, I must have been right on that one. But there for a slight second, I was like, oh, I think we have, hold on a second. I was like, I think we have 4, but I don't want to say anything because I could be completely wrong. So I'm going to wait and see how this one plays out. And now the score is corrected. They got something wiped off the floor. We're ready to go again. Served across. Set. Barely tapped. Saved by the Dragons, though. Not falling for it. Ramsey hits it. Straight up. Highlanders are able to save it. Hilbrick's going to take it here. Over the net. Another great play here by the Highlanders.
Deep ball.
Hard to save this one, but they, I think, will. And then we'll go straight out of bounds. Highlanders will tie it up at 4.
Highlanders space the Dragons out too much. I mean, they too much for the Dragons. This is an advantage for them. They space them out to whereas they aren't comfortable hitting those balls from like that different angle.
Kaiser now over the net. It's going to fall really short.
Wow.
Net. And
Ramsey
they're still going to be able to corral and get this over. Highlanders have a huge hole on the left side. They need to fix that. Kaiser with another save.
Yes.
Blocked.
Good heads
Still
up
up, though. Here we go. Third one. Get it across the net. That's 4.
4 hits, yes.
4 hits, correct. And it will be a Floyd Central point, 5-4.
Wow, they're really fighting for each point.
These refs are really late on these calls.
Yeah, dude. You saw the entire bench stood up.
Yeah, everybody did. And then once everybody freaked out when he noticed it, I think. It still made it over the net, barely.
Oh, my goodness.
It's going to fall on the ground. The Highlanders going to take a 2-point lead.
That's how you turn a negative into a positive.
Absolutely.
You got them on their toes, and wow.
Serve was not the best. Hits the net, barely rolls over, and the Dragons save it.
That was
incredible. And then they just set it across, yes. And then a great spike.
Good chemistry by the Highlanders being able to get that right back over. Kaiser correcting her serve. All right. Ramsey passing it to a fellow Dragon.
Here's the spike. It's going to fall to the ground as we now have a 1-point lead by the Highlanders.
Wow.
Neither team is going to give this up. This game is going to go through neck and neck.
This is an amazing game. Absolutely amazing.
Like you said earlier, definitely worth the price of admission.
Yes.
This is a nail-biter and one to never forget. Up now. Serve. Here's the spike. It's going to fall to the ground. The Highlanders take another 2-point lead, 7-5.
19 Caroline Hilbrick had that ball. She put so much mustard on it that the blocker on the Dragons just could not contain it, and it shanked off of her hand and fell straight in front.
Cassidy Hoback now back for the serve. Going to serve it barely over the net.
And
Right, and a little bit of
serve.
confusion. Nobody back
Wow.
there to hit it. Still going to barely serve it across, though.
Highlanders have the ball now.
Caden Holcomb taps it. Another point here for the Highlanders as they're going to take an 8-5 lead.
Holcomb again is back in the game.
She's
She's
back
a
in the
key
game. We didn't even
player.
notice that
I
she
didn't even
didn't come
notice. She
back
slid
in.
right in. Holcomb did it again. She's an amazing. She's doing an incredible job of variation. She's either nailing it, floating it over, doing whatever it takes.
Got another spill on the court. Now cleaning it up.
You think maybe the Silver Creek's trying to stop?
No comment.
Okay. 8-5 is the score. Highlanders are up.
Up 3. This is huge. Huge
This is
time
good
to be
if
up
you
3.
can keep this lead. Excellent serve. Wow. Keegan Kaiser
Kaiser should
playing
have let
it
that
safe,
one go.
yes.
Set, spike. Kaiser's going to miss that one, and the Dragons will score.
Kaiser paid
8-6
for
is
that
now
one.
the score.
This is an absolute nail biter. Oh my
This
goodness.
is crazy.
Another spill. Ramsey
Ball
with the
hit over
serve.
now. Spike by Caden Holcomb, and no answer to that. 9-6 is now the score.
Holcomb absolutely
Huge
floored that
point.
ball. Keeping the 3-point lead, that's crucial. Absolutely crucial. Highlanders are doing an excellent job adapting, getting the lead early on in the game. Number 2, Lizzie Kane with the serve.
Ball popped up. Set and the spike. Here comes
Lizzie
help
Kane with
behind.
this pass. Oh, tough
Set
ball. See
up.
if they can get it
It's gonna be
over.
rough to get it over. Got to get it over here. Already
Ramsey
have 3
does.
hits. Set. Not a spike, but a nice little tap. Able to save it. The Dragons are.
Great up.
And now a spike. Gonna fall to the ground, and nothing that the Dragons can do. The Highlanders will now take a 10-6 lead.
Caroline Hilbrick had an amazing hit, and the Dragons actually, you know what, they had a very good block, but you know what?
Zimmerman needs a timeout right now.
Yes, I agree. Hilbrick, like I said, had an amazing hit. Dragons had an amazing... Ooh.
That was close.
That was a very close call.
But anyways, what just happened was there was a serve, and it fell to the ground just barely past the line
Barely.
in the Dragons' favor, and they will get a point here as we are 10-7.
Dragons have the ball. Passes over, and it's good.
Caden Holcomb gets stuck.
Holcomb with the
still in
heads-up
it.
play. She gets it over.
Oh my God, a mental collapse.
Oh my goodness, great. Wow.
An
What is it?
absolute mental collapse from the Dragons.
That was amazing. Holcomb hit the ball, but it got blocked, and it rolled around in the Highlander zone, and they did an amazing job with their good chemistry, and they were able to get the ball back up and forcing the Dragons to use a timeout. 4 points. Let's say 4 points in like a set from the last one. That's not that big of a deal, but let's say, because we're in the 5th set now,
Yeah.
that is big.
Highlanders only need 4 now instead of, in a normal set they'd need 14.
Yes,
So
a
now you only
huge
need 4,
difference.
so it's huge now. I mean, that was absolutely crazy. The Dragons start celebrating. I mean, never celebrate too
Yes.
early. I mean, they start celebrating and don't even realize it, but the Highlanders still have it. They corral this ball somehow, some way, save this, get it back over the net.
And caught the Dragons out of position.
And
Everyone was sucked up because
By the time they
Yes.
by the time that they noticed it, Ramsey was running back, the only player who did notice it, and she hit it, and there was absolutely nothing she could have done. A diving hit, trying to hit it behind her head. Absolute nail biter, crazy game. Couldn't have asked for any better of a game.
So fortunate to call a game this well. This is an
Absolutely.
amazing game. 19 with the serve for the Highlanders. Oh my goodness, that is exactly what you do not want as a Dragon. Now all the momentum is in the Highlanders' hands. They need to finish it though. 19. Oh yes, Caroline Hilbrink has been, like I said, awesome at serving. She's been doing an amazing job. Hopefully she can finish it out for the Highlanders. Excellent block by Holcomb. Dragons get it over.
Oh my God! What a play!
That was an amazing heads-up
Holcomb
play.
even ran up and acted like she was gonna spike that, and oh my Lord, Lizzie Kane knocks it barely over. What a play!
Holcomb went up to fake like a. Wow. Okay, serve is getting terrible reception. Oh my goodness.
They've got to work on this. This is crucial now. It's the game. I mean, it's coming to a game point now.
Yes.
It's going to be completely blocked. The Highlanders are now up by 7 and need 1 point to win this.
Wow.
What a
Ira
game.
Sharp and Caden Holcomb absolutely stuffed that ball right back into the Dragons' face.
This is ugly.
This is it. This is game point.
Match point. Here we go.
14-7 Highlanders. Dragons receive the ball.
Great save by Lizzie. Sharp to hit
Tyra
over.
Sharp.
Save though. And that's the game. Back right corner barely taps in. What a game.
Oh my goodness.
Game.
That was an amazing game.
My
and what a
gosh.
way to finish. Okay, Holcomb has been all game barely tapping it or slamming it, but she did it, and she did a halfway point. She hit it just enough to where it got over, but deep enough where no one could get it, and that play finishes the game. Final score of the final set, 15-7.
Yep.
Highlanders 3 sets, Dragons 2 sets. An amazing game.
I mean, couldn't have asked for any better of a game, absolutely. I could not agree with you more. I mean,
that was amazing.
there's no other way to explain it
Yes.
other than it was amazing, great game. There's literally no other way. It was absolute nail-biter, great game.
What would you take away from the Highlanders? What are the goods and maybe like 1 or 2 bads?
The bads I take away from it are the slow starts.
Yes.
If you play a very good team that will not allow you to have that slow start, it's just not going to work for you. So you can't have that. But what I can say that was good was their willingness to not give up and continue with the match.
I agree.
And come back and win it.
They had amazing
perseverance and,
yes.
and way to push through and all that. I mean, just never giving up, continuing to fight, and that's what kept them in this match. Honestly, if they didn't have that mentality, there's no way they'd beat Silver Creek.
I definitely agree.
And I mean, just like we said 100 times, we couldn't ask for a better game.
That was an amazing game to call.
Great game. All right, well, signing off here, Silver Creek and the Highlanders volleyball match. The Highlanders win 3-2. Some key players here: Caden Holcomb for the Highlanders and Mallory Ramsey and Anna Doblo for the Silver Creek Dragons had great games. A little bit of a disappointing ending there for the Dragons.
Yes, they had a mental collapse at the end.
And just let it get away from them.
The Highlanders capitalized,
Yep, absolute good game. And, couldn't ask for a better one. So signing off, as always, go Highlanders.